In this video, we're going over 7 smart, genius, intelligent, practical places to put your money after you get paid. This video is aimed at people who get a paycheck, so no, I'm not gonna be like, invest your money in this business, stuff like that. Rather, these are very low to no risk areas to put your money if you wanna grow your savings and your net worth. For me, all I want is to be able to help people become financially successful. And of course, where you put your money plays such a big impact on that. It can either take you 30 years to get rich or 5, and it just depends on where you put your money right when that paycheck hits. So let's get started. The first place your money should absolutely go to is necessities. So there's the 50-30-20 rule, which basically states that 50% of your money should go to necessities, 30% to wants, and then 20% to savings. Now, I don't believe in this rule fully, but the important part that it makes is that yes, a good majority of your money is likely going to go into necessities. And that's actually a very, very smart place to put your money. You see, if you don't put your money into necessities, a lot of people, they start buying stuff that they don't need, and they start to see that want section really go up in percentage. And yes, everyone has necessities. There's housing, there's food, there's services. It really depends on the person, but everyone is going to have money that they need to spend on necessities. My point is that you need to prioritize your necessities over other things like your wants, and just know that when the money hits your bank account, it's okay and totally normal for you to actually spend it on necessities. Now, yes, the amount of money you spend on necessities can go up or down, and overall, we generally want to push towards having it go down by being more efficient with our housing, buying food that's on sale at the grocery store, and just trying to live below our means. But yeah, living life, it's the most important thing. And so the first thing you need to do is spend your money on the things that allow your life to keep going. Just for some reference, the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the average American household spends approximately 32.8% of their budget on housing, about 16% on transportation, and about 13% on food. There are budgeting apps out there like Monarch Money that are really good, and they can actually help you reduce your necessary spend while increasing your quality of life. All right, the second place is gonna be treasury bills. And this is where we sort of start getting into investing. If you know me, you know that I'm not a fan of having your money just sit in a normal checkings account. Rather, there are so many better and smarter things we can do with our money that can allow it to grow. So what are T-bills? Well, a treasury bill is basically a short-term US government debt obligation backed by the Treasury Department with a maturity of 1 year or less. They're usually sold in increments of $1,000, so just keep that in mind. Now, the reason why I'm such a big fan of T-bills is because right now they are paying some insane interest rates. They are also one of the safest investments since it is backed by the US government. And so personally for me right now, a lot of my money is in T-bills. We're seeing interest rates in the mid 5%. And so if you do have some extra cash to invest, I think right now T-bills is an amazing thing to put your money into. Another great thing about T-bills is that whatever money you're making, the profit, it's actually not subject to state or local income taxes. So while the interest rates can be a little bit higher than high yield savings accounts, the amount of take-home money you get after taxes can be quite significantly higher. It's actually very easy to buy T-bills. It sort of depends on what brokerage you use, but I do have some videos explaining how to do it, and we will link those down below. I personally use Vanguard for my treasury bills, and they've been nothing but awesome. The great thing is that they are actually quite liquid. You can sell them whenever you want on the secondary market, so don't think you're actually locked in for 1, 3, 6, or 12 months. And since we're on the topic of smart places to put your money, I wanted to quickly show you how to invest your money into a Roth IRA using Webull. And if you use my link in the description down below, you can get a 3.5% bonus for new contributions from a non-Webull account, or get a 1.5% bonus for IRA transfers. As you guys can see with Webull, you're able to open up various types of IRA accounts like traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs, and rollover IRAs. For this video, I'll go with a self-directed Roth IRA account, even though I could choose a managed account too, which is basically when they invest for me based on my goals and risk tolerance. So let's click this, we'll click open account, make sure everything looks good, click next, and just follow the steps. You guys can also establish recurring deposits or investments, and also highly recommend cash management. You'll earn 5% on your contributions with no fees, and your account is FDIC insured. And yeah, overall, Webull is great not just for a Roth IRA, but also as a regular investing platform. They've been a long-term sponsor of my videos, and it's because I truly believe in their product and use it myself to invest. So again, if you guys want to get started investing, go ahead and use the link in the description down below to get a 3.5% bonus for new contributions from a non-Webull account, or get a 1.5% bonus for IRA transfers. And now back to the video. The third place your money should go after getting your paycheck is a high-yield savings account. Now, the main difference why a high-yield savings account is much better than a normal savings account is because the interest rate is going to be a lot higher. Personally, right now, my favorite high-yield savings account is going to be SoFi. As I'm making this video, they're paying like 4.6% APY, which is really, really good. It's not as high as a treasury bill, but having a savings account like this, it's a lot easier. Unfortunately, any money you make is subject to state and local taxes as well as federal taxes. So that's why I tend to prefer treasury bills. But for most people, it's a lot easier to manage a high yield savings account. SoFi is actually running a promotion. If you guys use my link, you guys can get a bunch of free money for signing up and making your first deposit. deposit. So I will have that link down below. But yeah, anytime you have money just sitting in your bank account, you want to make sure that it is in a high yield savings account. Yes, there is some money that should be in a checkings account, which we will talk about at the end of this video. But if you have money that you don't need to spend within the next few weeks, a high yield savings account is going to be a great place to put it. The thing is that putting your money into these types of accounts really prioritizes investing. You can sort of view it as a piggy bank, which makes it a little bit harder for you to access the money, which in this case is actually really good because it makes us not spend on splurges and things that we don't actually need. So all you gotta do is go to the link down below, click open an account, fill in your information, click next, and you'll have an awesome high yield savings account. Place number 4 is gonna be putting money into your own hobbies. And I don't hear this that much, and I do think it should be prioritized a lot more. So let me explain. In my personal experience, investing into your own hobbies gives you a better life with way more fulfillment and allows you to build skills that you can eventually monetize through some type of side hustle or a business. Now let's focus on the 2 aspects. And the first is just quality of life, right? It's called a hobby for a reason. It's because you love doing it. I really do believe that the more things we do that we love doing, the better we feel, the more happy we are. And yeah, just life is so much better when you're doing things that you actually enjoy doing. So you guys get that paycheck, it's probably at a job that, you're okay about, you don't really love it. And that's why it's so important for you to come home and actually do hobbies that you enjoy doing. The second aspect, like I said, is going to be actually skill development. Most hobbies involve some type of skill, and the thing is that for most skills, there is a way to monetize it. Yes, a lot of people say, hey, I don't want to actually monetize my hobby because it's gonna make it not fun. But there are a lot of hobbies out there that I think you can monetize, but you will still continue to enjoy doing. For example, I was a photographer for a long time. That started off as a hobby, but after I graduated college, photography is really what got me by. I was able to make a pretty good income doing a high value skill like that, and eventually led me to making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now with every hobby, I do recommend pairing it with your own website or blog. I think this is a great way to have accountability and to actually show off your skills. And so that's another thing I recommend doing. Everyone with any type of hobby should have some type of website or blog. I have made a website for pretty much every single hobby I've had in my life, and that has really helped me out. My favorite website builder is Hostinger. It's super cheap. We worked out a great deal for you guys. So if you do want to use that link down below, you can build up to 100 different websites for well under $3 per month. In my opinion, it's the most affordable, but also quality website building service that exists. So overall, I think investing your money into things that you love doing, especially if they can start building a skill for you that can turn into a side hustle in the future, that's a very smart way to spend your money. Number 5 is gonna be real estate. Now, many of you guys watching this video may not have enough money to actually go out there and buy a whole house, but I do think it should be on everyone's radar, and there are some pretty affordable ways to get into real estate investing without putting down a ton of cash. For example, you can house hack, and that basically means you buy a house and then rent out a bunch of the rooms to other people. This should effectively make your housing payments close to zero if done right, and allows you to build equity in the house and get appreciation in the house without having to shoulder a huge mortgage payment. There's also ways to invest with other people combined, so basically real estate crowdfunding or investing in REITs, real estate investment trusts. These can be great ways for the average American to actually start getting invested in real estate and hopefully buy their own properties later on in the future. I personally am very glad that I started putting my money into real estate. I have one condo that I have a ton of equity in, and you sort of want to view it as a forced savings account that takes advantage of leverage. Number 6 is you want to put a portion of your money into a checking account. The reason why a checking account is important is because the money is immediately accessible, meaning you can swipe a debit card and you'll be good. Now, I don't recommend debit cards for most people, but that's a story for a later time. But yeah, for me, I always have a small chunk of money within a checking account. I use that account to pay bills, other necessities, and yeah, it just doesn't make sense for you to have all your money within a savings account and have to continually transfer to that checking account. It just takes too much time, and it's not something that you probably want to do. While I don't think that your entire emergency fund should be in your checking account like some people say, I think having at least a few $1,000s within your checking account is appropriate. Of course, your money's not going to earn any interest, unlike the high yield savings account or treasury bills, but it does give some peace of mind knowing you can spend that money right away. For me, it doesn't really matter what checking account I use as long as it's from some type of reputable bank. And so any bank with a physical location or even any of those big online banks, they should be good. Okay, number 7 on your list is finally going to be discretionary spending. So these are your wants. There's no person out there who I would recommend never spending money on things that they actually want. And the reason is because life is actually pretty short. There's so many things that are fun to do which are not necessities. You can't take your money with you, of course. course. And yeah, that's why I think everyone should at least portion off a little bit of their money to spend on things that are fun, which don't really make financial sense. Of course, this channel is really about financial success, so I will say the majority of your money should go into the other things on this list, but there is a portion that should be spent on things that, are not that smart. That's really where budgeting comes in, and if you have an app like Monarch Money, it can essentially hold you accountable and say, hey, you're spending too much money on this right now. Cut down on that and put your money in more intelligent things. The average American spends about $1,500 per month on this type of spending, which I personally think is too high. You really want to maximize your return per dollar spent on this type of stuff. So for example, is that $100 meal gonna actually be 10 times better than that $10 meal? Probably not. In terms of happiness that it brings, it's likely not going to do that. So yeah, those are 7 smart places to put your money after you get your paycheck. I'll say this over and over again, but personal finance is hugely personal. It really depends on your life, your situation, and a bunch of other factors. At the end of the day, everything is discretionary. You can choose how much you want to put in that category. But if you really want to grow your savings and grow your net worth, you'll want to put your money into things that actually grow your money for you. So these are going to be traditional investments. Those are going to be the actions that really play a huge role in how much money you can accumulate. And with that accumulation just comes more safety. And I'll tell you guys, not having to worry about money is such a great feeling. I've been broke before, and trust me, being rich is so much better. Not really in terms of like how much you enjoy your life, but more in terms of how much less stress there is about money. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more content just like this. I do a ton of videos about personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.